I can't believe we never thought of this in the pre-production. Who's the greatest black chef of all time?
Oh shit, that's a great question.
Well, you dropped his name earlier, so you have Patrick Clark, but you also have
Edna Lewis. I got a book up on my shelf right here. I got Dookie Chase's books here.
Yeah. So there's legends, of course. There's the chef that was a chef for what? Thomas Jefferson is that guy, right?
Yep.
But then you have like
who's that?
That we would.
So his I believe his name is Carver, but he's the chef that invented macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually. Okay.
Yeah, straight up.
Who's the first guy that you guys said, like, if you want to educate people real quick on that?
Patrick Clark is larger than life chef he used to be the chef of Tavern on the Green, as well as a couple of the restaurants in New York City. And his son actually wound up going to CI too, and following in his dad's footsteps. He was the guy. Like, he was way ahead of his time, and specifically in New York City. And then my mentor, he's not an American black chef, but he's still black, Marcus Samuelson. So I was with Marcus when we was at Aquavit. So
sure.
completely different. So I was with.
How old was he then? Would you say?
I was 17. He was 25.
Wow.
Holy shit.
He was 25. So he's still one of the youngest chefs to ever win the Rising Star Chef Award period.
Y'all know it takes a special track to do this. I'm on my P's and Q's, dripping sauce. It's just the fluid, it's the chef. I'm here to remind y'all I'm sick with it. My name is stuff that's hot. It's ubiquitous. Meaning it's one and the same, simple and plain. I'm all about my paper, the bacon, cheddar, and pain. I got these lanes running for the border. The talented Mr. Porter, keep it flowing like it's water. But here we go, there we go, creeping to a low speed. Is it him and his friend sitting in the nosebleeds? Play it cool, he ain't special just cause he's on TV. Everybody's hands up, acting like they know we.
Welcome to another episode of the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I am your host, Ed Porter, and this is the place for food, music, and culture and how they all connect. Today, I have a guest on that we talked about. Actually, when I first started to talk about putting this together, he was actually one of the very first people that I told that I had to have on the podcast because of the type of content that he posts, and just we had a hour and a half, 2 hour conversation. That was our first introduction to one another. And so, very much a kindred fellow, brother from another mother. And before we get started, I have to pay this brother the proper respect by giving him his just due flowers with this intro. So here we go. Today, we're thrilled to have the dynamic force behind the social accounts Brett Eats Food. From spinning records as a DJ to lending in Michelin-starred kitchens leading, he brings a unique blend of humor, authenticity, and culinary excellence to the table. His journey from the dish pit to fine dining epitomizes resilience and creativity. Known for his candid insights and infectious enthusiasm, he is a refreshing voice in the culinary world. Please welcome to the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show, my friend, my brother, Mr. Brent Weathers.
Good.
How you doing, man?
I feel like clapping.
Yeah.
I feel like clapping. Yeah.
Thank
you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, man. It is, again, like I said, it's great to have you on. And we also talked about having you, and we're gonna get you in studio too. This is not the last time you'll see my guy here. You will see him at this table at one point in time. But I had to get this in though. This had to happen, and I'm glad that you took the time to do such. So let's jump right in, man. Let's talk about. It's always interesting to me to talk to other chefs and to know their origin story, how you got into it. And yours is a lot like mine. You didn't choose that. This wasn't like the initial choice for you.
No.
So let's talk about how you got into food and, your journey.
Yeah. So I didn't know what I was going to be when I grew up or when I was a kid. I've always wanted to be I was enjoying the the businessmen in the movies in the 80s, they had the big old brick phones with big old tie and it suits and they were like, businessmen. I like the way that looked. I was like, man, briefcases and you know what I'm saying? Like I just like the idea of being a businessman, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what was in that briefcase. So
junk bonds.
long story short, I guess and I'm bad at academics, terrible at school. I've been trying too. It just wasn't. There's a wall there. I just can't get past. Like, why do we need to learn the Battle of the Red Flag for? Like, this has to make some more sense to me. I can't. There's a wall. I can't learn anyway. So I failed all these tests really bad. Like the PSAT, my scores is mad. It's anyway. I was trying to be in the Marines and I couldn't pass that ASVAB test. All you had to do was just make a 28 or 29 on it. I couldn't pass it for nothing. I can't, but God didn't want me to pass it. If I passed out, I'd been in San Diego and I wouldn't be cooking and okay.
Absolutely.
So I was at a Christian school and I was roommates with a friend of mine. He said, hey, Brent, we should work at a restaurant. And he said, we could be bus boys. It's like, free food. It's easy money. And you can look at girls or whatever he was saying. I'm like, cool, done. And so we went to someone's home and they, after church, they invited us because we're college kids. And they said, hey, you should go to work at this place called Demas' Spaghetti and Steakhouse or whatever it's called. And we both went there. He had experience. I didn't have any experience. He didn't get hired. I got hired because I didn't have any experience. And they wanted you to be green.
Yeah.
And even Thomas Keller got the blue in the French catch. You got the blue aprons, which represents, you're coming, you're learning, and you're a student or whatever. Mm-hmm. The aprons that we had over there was green. So it was kind of cool that we're all green and we got these green aprons and, and so I started I started washing dishes and putting up dishes and eating free food. And that was a life for me. And then after that, we went to, I think 6 months later, Scott, his name was Scott. He goes, hey, Brent, today you're on the oven. I'm like, oh, wow. And I was like, I don't have to wash dishes? He's like, no, you're cooking on the oven. All I got to do is, he showed me when to put the chicken in, when to put the cheese bread in, when to put the rolls in and the do's and don'ts and the potatoes and whatever. And they said, Brent, good job. And we'd like you here. From now on, you're working the oven. So now I'm not washing dishes no more.
You graduated.
So next thing you know, I'm cooking for real. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a whole cook now. And I always love food, of course.
Right.
I always had a sweet tooth. So I was always cooking regardless, So, and that's how I kind of started out. Ironically, because I grew up in Naples, Italy, and in Izmir, Turkey, right? But I never was always in the kitchen. The very first thing I've ever made was soft scrambled eggs. And so that right there is the average chef has a problem doing that.
Yep.
So the fact that was my first thing that my mom taught me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like me making, my mom gave me a pancake recipe and I had to call her years ago. I said, Mom, you didn't teach me how to cook. My mom was an amazing cook, right? I said, Mom, you didn't teach me how to cook, but she gave me the 2 jewels I kept with my whole life.
Right.
Soft scrambled eggs, the art of heat, the art of whatever, and pancakes. And I learned how to not be afraid of flour and eggs and baking soda and I started like learning. I tried to figure out like, okay, when you put baking soda in, what's the difference between baking soda and baking powder?
Yeah.
Why is the clarified butter in there? And then it got to the point where I was following a guideline. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I don't feel like looking for the recipe. Let me just put it together.
Right.
And then when I was like, I forgot the clarified butter. I was like, man, why does this pancake look this way? Oh, that's what the clarified butter does. I was like, why is this so weird tasting? Why is it so baking soda-y? Yeah. And I was like, I tasted the batter. I was like, oh, okay, because I eyeballed it, but I realized that a little goes a long way. Mm-hmm. So I started understanding all the basics of like what makes a pancake. Yeah. And those 2 things held me down. That's why I did that souffle the other day. Yeah. No recipe whatsoever. I was just like, I knew what it needed, and
the foundational building blocks. There was
yes, sir.
So your mother she taught you how to fish. You know what I'm saying? That's
those 2 things.
That's it.
Those 2 things. Yeah, that's all I needed. And from the pancakes to that same thing applies to other cakes. It applies to like knowing the difference between like what is a cookie, what makes a cookie, what makes a brownie, what makes cornbread. And I think my cornbread's phenomenal, all because of I understand it's okay to taste the batter. It's okay to know what does what.
Yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, my mom held me down with those two things,
the best
and
book,
here I am still cooking.
The best book, the best part of for me, my culinary school days, the Intro to Gastronomy. So the book, that to me was my red pill, blue pill moment, because that was the this and this makes that. So it's the difference between that's the difference between being able to follow a recipe or to create one. Knowing how, and it's all science, knowing the reactions of certain ingredients with other ingredients and how they play along in the sandbox. So that's really what that was. So yeah, kudos to moms, man.
Why does it do what?
Exactly. Yeah. Kudos to moms. Yeah, listen, so like when people ask me, I tell people all the time, like, how you know somebody can cook or not? Like if you ask them to make something simple, like make me some cookies. Somebody that knows how to bake will ask you want them crunchy or you want them chewy. So I know how much brown sugar I need. The molasses does something to so knowing that is the difference between being able to just follow. Anybody should be able to read and follow a recipe. Now, and anybody that knows something knows that you just can't be grabbing on any old recipe off the line and thinking it's going to pan out. It just doesn't work that. It just doesn't work that way.
No. Forget about it.
Exactly.
No.
So, you know what? Right about now, I like to play a little game that I call This or That. So we're going to get into this or that right about now. All right. There is a slew. I'm going to ask you a question and or a phrase, and then you're going to pick one or the other. All right?
Okay.
Straightforward.
Okay.
All right, so first one.
Yeah.
Which anthem better captures the hustle and the vibe of the 90s? Would that be Would that be Cash Rules Everything Around Me by Wu-Tang? Or OPP by Naughty by Nature?
Let's go with Wu-Tang, Cash Rules.
Yeah.
Let's go with Cream.
Cream. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because OPP, man, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was disrespectful. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the 90s was pretty disrespectful. I don't know. The 90s was pretty disrespectful.
No, you're correct. No, first of all, music in the 20s is disrespectful. All that, what Marilyn Monroe was doing? Yeah, and that's in the 50s and 60s. But like, there's some old, even Mozart and them, there's some lyrics and like, man, how does this song come about? Like, that stuff down. They're like, you know what that song was about, right?
Yeah.
It's like, crap. It was about that and about people getting drunk and getting bent. And, and then he shouted, the guy wasn't happy with his wife. I was like, ooh-wee. So, no, but that, I'll have to go with Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Because, like, it was more like, back of the bus, 40 of us, life was a short, it couldn't be so rough, And it was just like and then the visual too, it's like these guys had the bags of money. They're sitting at the table trying to build, it's a family setting. Where OPP is like you're just loose and in and out of each other's other people's property. And
listen, this the Wu-Tang when this came out, like look at the album cover, like this you can't see their faces, right? And but they're just big, very very scary looking dudes, and you couldn't help but to pay attention. So yeah, Wu-Tang came on with a vengeance, man. Like I remember those days like it was vividly yesterday. Wu-Tang was something else. Okay, next. Which film more accurately portrays the passion and challenges of the culinary world? Would that be Chef with Jon Favreau, which is an excellent movie, or Ratatouille with my guy Ratatouille?
Man, that's crazy because they both had that food critic scene.
Yeah.
Good heavens, man, because one's real, one's animated, but at the same time, I felt like, I don't know what to say. I think Chef was a little bit extra on some levels, but I like the way that Ratatouille held me down because Thomas Keller holds me down. I watched it the main reason I watched it because Thomas Keller's French Laundry cats oversaw that movie.
Yep.
And the idea that anybody can cook.
Yeah.
And then that scene at the end, like, hey man, I guess the older I get, I cry quickly. And that last scene where homeboy went back to his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't my fault, man. Yeah, I cried, but it wasn't my fault. It was the music they played. The music had me crying too. It wasn't quite all my fault. If it was muted, I'd been all right.
Yeah, with no audio, you've been fine. But it's the strings.
Chewy holds me down. Yeah, Chef was. There were some scenes in it where it was extra. Like, if you don't mind me saying, I don't talk this way, so he was. But like, it was extra a little bit. You can tell when a director and the writer was like hooked up with a chef, and they found out what a amuse-bouche was.
Yeah. And
this one guy was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I forgot the scene, but he's showing up, and then the other dude that was the Empire is like, "Oh, come on, you amuse douche." It was extra.
Yeah,
like it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't authentic. Okay.
It was forced,
yeah.
and I just didn't.
Plus,
it set me. Yeah.
Remy's a stud, man. I love Ratatouille. So what Disney does great is they can tell a proper story. So it doesn't matter. You lose yourself in the fact that it's animated. You don't even think about that. It's just like the storyline is so rich that you fall in love with the characters. And so, yeah, I love that movie.
Hey, Disney, man, that's one thing you realize as a kid. That life was no joke. That anybody can get it. When you watch Bambi,
yeah, anybody. Listen. That Bambi and Saving Private Ryan start off the same way with death. So it was it's the same.
Like, how you lose your mom in the beginning of the movie?
At the beginning,
mother. You know what I'm saying? And then the father shows up, not even checking. The father comes up like that and goes,
yeah.
Son, man has got her. Follow me. Yeah. Like, wow, that's rough.
Yeah.
And then the whole time I thought Bambi was a woman, and turns out it was a dude. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, Bambi was a dude.
Anyway, I'll stop.
Okay.
My bad.
All right. Next. Which movie offers a more inspiring look at a chef's journey and personal growth? Julia and Julia, or Burnt?
Let's go with Burnt. Let's go with Burnt on that one. Yeah, let's go with Burnt. There's a really unrealistic, but there was the idea that kind of got to keep up with the times, and that you have to be like on some. Not everyone's on your side, and it's competition, and you can have goals, but if you don't have a good team, you ain't go nowhere. We all need each other.
Yeah, Burnt.
It's okay to finesse the food critic. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like there's some things not okay to finesse the food critic, but there's some level of politics. Like, hey, man, so the food critics on table 9. There's no harm in getting up and hey, it's good to see or whatever. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think Julia was dope too, but it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped me. I got it. All those movies you talk about, I got it over here, but I think Burnt kind of.
I agree.
Unrealistic.
Yeah.
Burnt was unrealistic, but it still had you, and plus the people that was consulting the movie held me down too. So
No, this dope. And I gotta apologize to super producer Gabe because I skipped the whole question. But he in true culinary form rolled with the punches. So we going back to it. So next, which track gets the kitchen crew more hype during a busy service? Will that be House of Pain's Jump Around or Slam by Onyx?
Onyx. Jump Around's cool, but Jump Around's dope. And the way it comes on, you can't front.
Yeah.
Onyx, hands down.
Yeah, that so
Onyx,
first
all
off.
Day long. There's songs that they've done. I listen to Onyx on the way to work. Yeah. Still. Everything from, they have a song called Buck Back.
Yeah. Listen, so hold on. This Back the Fuck Up album. So when this came out, I remember vividly when this came out and being in high school, and Sticky Fingers was an amazing. His energy when he came on, it was I'm like, this is different. He had
that. There's a few rappers that had a certain type of energy all the time, and every time we saw him, that unpredictable energy too. Yeah. And the thing too is like those Onyx cats, like. I reached out to Fredro Starr before too, man. I was like, you know what, it'd be kind of cool because to this day, I want to see what I want to see is a movie with Onyx. I want to see Fredro Starr and maybe Sticky Fingers. They came up together like cooking, and then they kind of split. And then maybe their restaurants are in competition with each other or something. Or it'd be kind of cool to see Fredro Starr and Sticky Fingers and some chef wives. I would love that.
Yeah. Well,
because in real life, there's some people that look like them that are beasts in the kitchen. So he's like, you know, and I reached out to Fredro Starr. He was like, yeah, that sounds dope, you know? So if I can get some chicken together and reach out to him, because I'm just saying, like,
check it out. I don't know if you noticed or not. I don't even know if it's anywhere else outside of New York, but there's a chain of restaurants called Sticky Fingers.
I didn't know that.
And that's for those who know, those in the know, knows that that's a direct nod to Onyx. I'm like, that's how popular they were, that they got a whole line of chicken finger joints, and it's a bomb name too. It's a bomb name. Sticky Fingers is a bomb name. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. What do you think about the logo? How do you think that did it age properly? There's certain logos that
it did, right?
There's certain logos that. So do you know that to date, there's only like 2 logos in the NBA that have never been changed from its first inception, and the main one is the Chicago Bulls bull. It's been the same bull ever
since day one.
Since day one. Every other logo has changed in some iteration.
They changed a little bit. Yeah, they changed it. And a small fun fact, I don't know what, hope the ratings don't go off. Well, then turn the channel off. But one time, the Dallas Mavericks hired Sean Combs to redo their outfit.
Oh, did he find the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, no, I forgot what. Yeah, I forgot because he was big into fashion.
Yeah,
and the Dallas Mavericks, they wanted Sean Combs to help him out, and Playboy, he was doing that. Yeah,
it's way too soon.
But then I don't know if it went down or not, but
I'm sure they babied them the uniforms. Anyway, who would you say? This is off the cuff. Who would you say has the best logo in hip hop? Because back in the so it was, if you notice, it was just looking at these two album covers. The logo was very, very, very important. Like it was also it was branding. Like and at its highest point. This is when cats used to read the liner notes and we used to stare at the album covers and all this. You know, cats ain't doing that no more. But who would you say?
No. Sentimental reasons, I'm a sucker for Run DMC and EPMD.
Yes.
But people love Wu-Tang a lot because it represents family. It represents brotherhood.
Yep.
So, there's a bunch of logos out there. My top favorite rap groups of all time is the Beastie Boys. But the cool thing about them is they always change it up.
Always.
Every album they come out with, their logo changed.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. So you can't really pin one on them. But the idea that Wu-Tang, because my brain's not really moving around right now. That just stands out to me right now. Like, oh, well, my goodness. It's either Gangstar or Wu-Tang.
Okay. Okay, mine is, and it's the one that whenever I think of a logo, and this is going to be funny when I say this because of the reason you'll see so Jay with the Damager, that the cartoon of his head, which I mean could almost be you. So with the beard and everything.
That's why I do it.
Yeah,
I love Jay with the Damager. I love his style and
that whole entire that cartoon of him and with the dreads and the beard, like it's one of the dopest ones. And that silhouette of it, like what that is when you see it. So
it's dope. It's so dope.
I love it.
What was it? Return of the Prophet.
Yeah, Return of the Prophet. That whole video with the cartoon was insane.
Yes. And there was one where when I lived in Tampa, Florida, one of those hip hop shops, they had it was like him with the afro. It had him with a fro and a small little beard with a side shot. I was like, I gotta get that, but that was mad years ago, and they don't discontinued. And
okay,
Jay with the Damager.
Jay with the Damager. That was, I love that logo. That was that was. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, you can't front.
Next, which song is your go-to for setting the mood in the kitchen? This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordan, or You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. You got to be one of these two, though.
No. Can't touch this. I'm not Michael Jordan. That song annoys me. I'm happy for him and his success and all that kind of stuff. I do not want to hear on a Tuesday morning, it's Friday night. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, give me Can't Touch This, because the thing with MC Hammer is, you know what's crazy, man? Everybody in hip hop was dancing. NWA wasn't dancing like that.
What do you mean like that?
But
You got some
dancing.
footage of them dancing? To me, like you got footage of NWA dancing at all? You said like that. Okay, they wasn't dancing at all. Yeah, I'm like,
no. I said NWA was not dancing.
Yeah,
everybody in hip hop was dancing.
Absolutely.
Like 1991, 90 on down.
Yeah, you had
Everyone did something. Eric B and Rakim didn't dance too much.
No,
but look at LL Cool J and Jingling Baby. He was dancing.
Yep,
he was doing all this stuff right here. Doing all that, and then but everyone was dancing, and they hated on MC Hammer because like. Maybe he took it too far and not too far, but he was just serious about it and more organized about it. But his pen game was straight. Every single thing that he said on his first 2-3 albums was well thought out. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? He was fearless too.
That first album.
So, MC Hammer, I just got through spinning. I just got through practicing. I was doing the to get to touch this. I had the 2 copies of my turntable. I was doing the Can't Touch This joint just now. And I was playing around, I was doubling it up and everything. I don't want to hear Montel.
I totally get
Big
it.
up to Montel, but I don't want to hear that in the kitchen.
So let's take a little quick history lesson. So Hammer's first album was called The Holy Ghost Boy. That most people missed. Most people most people never even know that came out. So
never heard of it.
Yeah, go back and get that. It wasn't as critically acclaimed as Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. But that album, and Hammer's one of those guys too. So I met Hammer twice. And back when I lived in the Bay, and really solid dude.
I know,
but well respected, bro. Like no cats don't mess. Hammer's connected. Yeah. Man, listen. What do you think? You think Hammer would ever have another moment in music? You know how they say everything comes in waves.
Nothing's too... Dude, if Tom Jones is still performing in 80 in Vegas, yesterday, thank you. All my troubles seem, thank you. Far away, yeah. If Tom Jones is still doing that in his 80s, I'm sure Hammer can still... Because people love good music, man. You can't front. When the song comes on, it's jamming. You can't front on the song. And what he's saying in his lyrics is, maybe it was catchy. Yeah, it did go pop. Maybe, it did cross over. But he was still hip-hop at heart. He was still making sure it made sense. And he was dancing like everybody else danced. He just
better at it.
Maybe
he was just better at it.
Fact. He was dancing, but he was just dancing. He took it seriously. I don't know. I mean...
The one thing... And I've said this before, but the one thing I think that we as hip hop does to slight the elders in the game is Aerosmith is going to be on tour next year. I'm pretty sure. And Rolling Stones and you name the group, and some of them don't have any of the original members. It's just that the brand has become so big that they can do that and travel. And for whatever reason in hip hop, we tend to throw out. We don't revere the elders in the game. It's just because this is become a young man's sport.
Sure.
I think that's turning though. I think really because substance is so far gone out of music in general, and the further and further you like telephone. We play telephone as kids. The further you get down the line, the less the message has been communicated. Correct. And hip hop has lost a lot of what it was based on and in. And I'm not throwing shots at any of the young cats. I think
it's a fact.
I actually love some, and it's the same thing back in the days. It was some of that when I grew up that was cool, and some of that did not rock. So it's not that it's not any shots on any of the young cats, but what I will say for this generation of hip hop cats is that as far as the independence and the business side of it, they got that in spades. They figured the game out and they're running with it. But because of that, there's no gatekeepers in hip hop right now. The barrier to entry is if you can afford a laptop and some plugins, then you too can be in the music business, and that. So,
yes,
that is the crazy thing about it.
One thing I noticed, and it's a fact, when Master P came out, that was when you can get equipment at the house. You can buy CD burners and stuff at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have no one to tell you that you couldn't put no album out. A long time ago, you had to make sure, because like El Cool J tells a story about he had like mad demo tapes. He had to go to everybody and just hope that someone heard it,
Mm-hmm.
And then someone that ran the company was like, "No, that's not good. He sounds like Cool J rap. No, or that's not fine. He's too whatever. We don't like it." You had someone hold you accountable. Nowadays, ain't nobody holding nobody accountable. You know what I'm saying? You can, because what Master P did was he let people know, like, hey, look, take matters in your own hands. And the reason why he was decent, because the people he came up under, he did listen to Curtis Blow. He did listen to like Run DMC, Fat Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like Master P came from that Public Enemy cloth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Scarface and all them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he had a good upbringing. And then when Cash Money, there was no limit in Cash Money, but they had a good upbringing. And then when people just found out they can just do whatever, you had more one-hit wonders. You had more people copying each other.
Yeah.
Every single song, they have the whole, hey, whatever. Yeah. Everyone's copying that same format.
Yeah.
Because so it's guaranteed money.
Yep.
Let me come out with a dance.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Hip hop, EPMD did Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Everyone did, the Pee Wee Herman. Everyone had dances.
Right.
The Smurf, the Popeye, the Jerry Lewis. Everyone was doing that.
Right.
But there was something magic. There was, people depended on nowadays they was coming up with dances because it's automatic sales.
Yeah.
Automatic million something on YouTube. YouTube was paying. Your CDs was paying. Your merchandise. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just where we're at now. It's so easy to get on and no one's gonna hold you accountable. That's why all these people was mumbling.
Right.
And no one pulled them aside because
I knew it was
they were their own. Yeah.
I knew we were in for a hell of a ride when I came across the deaf mute rapper. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Oh no. The guy that's in the wheelchair?
No, not that guy.
Okay,
there's a deaf mute that is just making noise. To beats.
I've seen a few of them.
Have you seen it?
Oh, there's one guy in Africa and there's a guy.
That's the guy, the African guy. That's the one I'm talking about. I was like, and so at first I thought it was a meme. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like,
Me too.
This is hilarious.
No,
no, dude is serious, and he's doing concerts and he's selling out. He's selling albums with him just yeah. We gonna put a side by side up. We gonna do in post. Oh yeah, he gonna be with me. We gonna do it together. So it's insane. The level of that would have never flown before. Like it was. Now, this one thing I'll give him is definitely unique. He's in the lane by himself. He has no competition. He running the deaf mute rapper lane. He got. I don't know if you call it rapping.
Yes. No, for real. But the problem too is you have people like co-signing and encouraging foolishness because the music video was packed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He got all. Listen,
you know
that music video showed you it is the visual projection of Yes Men. This dude had there's about 80, 90 cats that was in there telling me he was the best thing since sliced bread.
And also, they can get on TV.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because y'all want to get on TV today, and they're speaking in African or whatever. Hey, y'all want to be on TV, or y'all want to be in a video? And everyone's like, yeah. And it was like, I'm pretty sure the guy he doesn't know all those people,
right?
And I'm pretty sure they had to do a couple of takes. Like he goes like, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I had to tell.
I was like, yo,
yeah, no.
What are we doing? Oh yeah.
Now check it out. Did you not? You missed the two major parts. He's a deaf mute, so he doesn't hear the music. so he's not hearing the music, so he's definitely not in key to any. Like what are we doing here? What do we anyway?
But nowadays we can get paid off of views, and YouTube is in the business of making. What's ridiculous? Cool. Let's film that. Let's post that, and let's get money off of that. The name of the game is money.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to have talent no more. Like you can just get up and just do who knows what and get paid off of views.
It's crazy. Well, you mentioned a little earlier about talking about DJing, and you post on your accounts often about you DJing. And let's talk about how has being a DJ, how has that spilled over into what you do in the kitchen? Because again, we were talking off camera, and which is why this whole thing exists. To me, music and food are so synonymous in so many different ways. They're very much symbiotic and share a lot of DNA together. And for any way you want to feel, there is a soundtrack and a food to help you get there. So how do you pair the two? How are you mixing and mingling the two together?
I mean, I've always wanted to spin records since I heard Run DMC Tougher Than Leather, and I heard like, you know what time it is, you know what time it is. I heard it from Grandmaster Flash and that joint. So I've always wanted to spin some records. I had to do it, and as a matter of fact, I was working two restaurant jobs to feed that habit. What happened was, I would be at work on the grill. I would take the grill scraper and come up with like scratch patterns and things I want to do when I went home. And then when I went home, I'm spinning records, still thinking about food. And they both rock crowds. You can both mix things together and blend, but not everything. Just because you can blend it doesn't mean it needs to be blended. There's a lot of things that are just like, it's the same. It's a beautiful thing. Like, just because even just because things are the same beats per minute doesn't mean it needs to be mixed. The other day I was mixing Sade and UGK, and I think I called it Cherish the Underground. You know what I mean? But then like I tried to do something else and it didn't quite work. So just because you have turntables, just because you have these types of food, this curry over here and this certain dish over here, or this protein, doesn't mean you need to force the mix. If something doesn't mix right, don't bother. No, but yeah, I just music and food, they got those same properties, man. From the dopamine to that feel good to that relaxational to that satisfactory to the adrenaline rush. I can sit back and play a mix, and people will just blow me up. Oh man, that's so dope. And I can go to work, put a dish together, and they can like, oh my goodness, that's so. I get the same reaction,
and it's instant gratification. It's two forms of something that, there's no greater feeling than having somebody appreciate something that you created, specifically if it's for them. And also, I think in food and music, the other similarity to me, the one glaring evident, is that you can go to school or learn all you want about music and music theory, and even about all the gastronomy and your knife cuts and the parts of how to break down a pig or a cow and all your 5 mother sauces. But from here to here, either you can do it or you can't. And so
it ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. Membership has its privileges and its drawbacks, and the fact of the matter is that just because you know you have a certain skill set as far as knowledge goes, doesn't mean you can physically do it. And so, I you look at DJing as one of those mysteries of, like they say, anything you do in repetition, you can get decent at it. But you can spend $10,000 DJing and never get it. It's just
no, it's a fact.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
Yeah,
you can pick up a guitar.
Yep.
You can pick up a guitar, and you might have looked at some guy do some classical guitar, and he's doing all this extra stuff, and he's very and he or she's just like really killing it. And he's like, you know what, I want to buy a guitar and do the same thing. You'll get a guitar, you'll learn chords and notes and stuff, and you'll realize like that's not not here. So you're probably gonna be stuck with doing a few chords, and that's probably it
at best.
You know what I'm saying? And there's no harm there because he's country artists and a few other artists.
Yep.
Like Beastie Boys, Sabotage. It's one chord the whole time. He's playing the same chord the whole time.
And it kills.
And look at that song, it just took off. And some of these country dudes, it's like this. It's just C, D, and G or whatever. And then you have people like Slash. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
They want to do extra stuff because that's how their brain works.
Right.
Just because you see somebody else do it doesn't mean you can do it. And that goes for all kinds of stuff. Like, hey man, this guy has a whole empire of restaurants. And he's like, I want to be like that guy. And you get your first taco stand. He's like, you know what? This is all I can do. Let me just do taco stands. Let me do some catering. let me do some drop offs, and that's where I can.
Yeah.
So you have to, be honest with yourself, and just because you see somebody do it or you love it doesn't mean it's for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of that, let's talk about how the service industry in general and this club that we have called called the service industry. How has it helped to shape the Brent that we see? I mean, I know that this is first off, this, and we just said it, it's not for everybody, right? This is you have to be a sort of masochist to take the abuse, and sometimes the abuse is not, it's self-inflicted, but take this and then get up every day and continuously show up to do it, and it takes a special breed of individual to suffer through some of the, and it has its benefits as well, but there's a lot of downs to it, and there's not a lot of now because of the internet and social media. There's a lot, people are getting to see a lot of things. Before that, we had Kitchen Confidentials who put the industry on blast, and it was people were like, wait a minute, you can't tell everybody about what we do back here. So
indeed, yeah.
So how do you how has the kitchen life spilled off into life and DNA that is you today, and will never leave?
Oh, we never leave. I didn't know I was not hot-headed. I didn't know I got annoyed easily quick. There's a lot of things that about the kitchen I didn't know I had. I didn't know it was. I remember I was ticket. Lady rung up a ticket. I'm reading it. I see it. I hang it up. I prepare it. Here she goes. Hi, Brent. Did you see my order? I ordered a. Stop. I read it. I'm reading it. It's cooking. I'm just communicating. I didn't know I was a jerk. I didn't know I was quick to be sarcastic until that happened. That was you understand. It's kind of like I didn't know I was a jealous person. I had my first girlfriend. She's like, we're watching Scarface, and there's a scene where Scarface's playing partner was walking away, and he had these tight leather pants on, which I didn't know he had on. So she pointed out, like, "Ooh, I like his butt." I was like, I know I was jealous until I had my first girlfriend, and so she started pointing out dudes with tight pants on. So I didn't know I was sarcastic this much. I didn't know. I learned a lot about me, and I learned what I don't like and what I do like, and I learned that I have a short. I learned a lot about me as far as who I really am. Like when people show up and they're like, this one dude, hey Brent, tonight we're gonna be busy. We have 45 on. I was like, hey man, I said, look, work over there, I work here, don't bother me with that. I said, and I started doing my little rants. I was like, dude, these 16-year-olds at McDonald's ain't worried about no 5 top and 10 top, and they ain't worried about no, these 16-year-old kids at Baskin Robbins, they ain't worried about no, it's going to be busy today. We in Texas and it's hot in the summer. Yes, it's going to be busy. So I didn't know I was quick with responses. I didn't know I was sarcastic, but it helped me get to God more. So the more I was finding myself being annoyed, I was forced to read more Bible before I clocked in. And to prevent being like, sometimes bosses are not fair.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are really cruel. And so it forced me to go to the Bible to read about turn another cheek. If somebody wants to take your shirt, give them the coat too. There's a scripture in, I think, Colossians and other spots where it's like, if your boss tell you to do, it's that master. If your boss tell you to do something, do it like I told you to do it. Mm-hmm. So like when I go to work and I'm working with all these weird chefs, I've learned to whatever they say. I mean, you can disagree, and if they ask you a question, feel free to whatever. But like, if they say, "Hey, Brent, sometime today we need to pull that such and such behind, and we need to clean up behind there," and I'm like, I'm not even the one. He knows I'm not the one that's even working over there in dirt. Why can't he just tell Jerome and Cynthia to clean it, because that's their mess? I've learned to yes, chef, and then just but I would be a mess if I didn't. I mean, just working in the kitchens with impossible people. It forced me to read the Bible more. So The reason why I can do this another 25 years, another 26 years, is because of I figured out who I am, what the Bible says about stuff. So many people are crying for help. They need us to hold them down on some if they're stressing out about their hours getting cut, it opens the door for me to be like, hey man, did you pray about it? Why don't you pray about it?
Yeah.
People coming to work talking about did you see that interview with Donald Trump? Did you see what he just said? Did you see whatever? And you're like, hey, is there something you can do about it? All right, just pray about it and move forward. Anyway, so
yeah,
I don't know. With working in the kitchen, that's kind of it helped me realize exactly what my core was, and now I can work with more impossible people. And I know how to deal with people, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's speak about, and you just talked about it a little bit about your faith and how impactful and how much you lean on that in order to get through some of the some of the minutia. So let's talk about also, because the one thing about you and your platform and how you do the things you do, you're very fearless in the fact of being comfortable with who you are and also vulnerable in the same way. That takes a lot of courage in order to do such. Let's speak about you made a post, and this is not the first post. You talked about you talked about abuse. And you had a personal experience about that, and you quickly segued into talking about friends of yours and how they have the stories that you've heard. And so you use your pain to highlight others and to show them that one, they're not alone, and two, none of that's cool. Speak to me about where is that internal strength coming from to be able to, be so vulnerable?
First of all, I know for a fact I ain't the only one. The more I talk to people, the more I hear these odd stories about these these kids got the same things. We spent the night over some friend's house. We didn't want to spend the night. Our parents thought it was a good idea that we all hang out. So we got these 6-year-olds, don't even have chemistry with these other 6-year-olds, but their parents see they're doing these kids a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's get them together. It's what kids need to do. No, because not all kids got the same chemistry, and a kid will let you know, but a kid can't articulate that, right?
Right.
So every time these kids go to Donovan's house, his weird Uncle Kevin or his dad and his stepdad or whatever the case is, they walking around the house half naked, penis all swinging out in the living room. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted all these kids to see how big it was or whatever. Then he had these stories about all these kids all these guys got these weird stories. Hey man, the first time I got my sucked was when I was at Miss Geneva's house. Say what?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it was her and her. And these guys are kids are mad young, making out with these 20-year-olds because these 20-year-old women are desperate. So I knew that the numbers were just getting too high. And then with physical abuse, every other woman I've ever talked to, not even every other woman, it's 90%. And I just found out recently that my aunt, she used to get beat up. I had zero idea. They kept it from us. Anyway, so it's nothing for me to say things because I know I'm not the only one. And for the record, the gentleman just grabbed my butt a couple of times. I was walking through his tail and he pinched it and then he did it again, right? I don't want people thinking I gave him head or something. You know what I'm saying? He didn't blow me or nothing. He I jerked him off. I didn't do none of that. It wasn't that crazy. But it was just hey, he made a move. It didn't make man look. My mom dressed us in these tight. What was that? It was these Bugle Boy joints. It was these tight Bugle Boy joints. It was these sweatpants, shorts, and it was form fitting. So I was the guy had good taste. I guess I gave him a flashback to his childhood. I guess I don't know.
Oh my God!
But he just saw what he saw and reached out and grabbed. And then my thing is hold on, because what happened is it stuck out to me when it happened. I blew it off. Pause. A little bit. I kind of brushed it off, and then years later, I was like, wait a second. And hold on. I had to think about it because I kind of brushed it off. I was like, because what happened was every time I go to church, not every time I go to church, when I get in front of a crowd, they had Wednesday night invitations. I get up and I preach and whatever for 5-6 minutes, and he would call. I think he saw how ruthless I was because I was calling people out in church. he'd call the house. And he's like, "Hey Brent, good job on that invitation. That was good work, and that's cool, man." He was saying all that because I knew he knew that I had a mouth on me.
Mm-hmm.
All again, but like he knew that I had like I was ruthless at a young age. I'm 15 years old in front of a crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and I started talking about things that was heavy, and I think he wanted to make sure he cleared his name.
Yeah.
And so he would call. My mom was like, "Hey Brent, so and so's on the phone." I'm like, and the thing is, I love my mom. I don't think she's gonna look at this because she can't. It's a long story, but like, Mom, I told you this nigga done grabbed me a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she told a few other people, and no one did nothing about it. Y'all gonna let this nigga call the house? So I still have a fury because of that. I'm 46 years old. I think I forgave him when I was 43, like on my own accord.
Yeah.
Even like I heard he was in a hospital or nothing. I just stopped, and I want to make sure that I'm good with God, and I want God's forgiveness, right? Because I need to be forgiven. So I prayed. I had to think about all the people I've done wrong, people that done me wrong, including bullies and stuff like that, and impossible chefs.
Right.
And here I am. I'm praying for everybody, you know. And he came up. I had to forgive him and forgive me for not forgiving him, you know. So that's kind of recent, but yeah, I'm not the only one. So that's why I'm not just fearless for the sake of being fearless. And I definitely, people know me, like I don't use trending sounds. I don't use hashtags. I'm not dropping names. If people like me, they hit that follow button, they did it on their own accord. I've never told no one to follow me. You know what I'm saying? If they do, that's awesome. And I hope we get to know each other. But
yeah. Speaking of that, I'm going to touch on one of your hot buttons. As a matter of fact, to show you, there was a point. So you remember this? You texted me one day, like, "Hey, I just want to hit you up before I hit this button. 'Cause I'm about to make this post. Yeah. This post is not about you, but."
Oh yeah,
but this post is not about you. But I just want to give you a heads up, just so you know, we good. We good. We good. We good. You got a hot button for the celebrity chef and
I hate that.
And yeah,
I hate that. It's only 5. Hey man, when you say celebrity chef,
mm-hmm.
our name should go to like people that you already see on Fox and NBC and Food Network, like the main people, not contestants on Chopped that went home early. You see what I'm saying? You got these guys in Cutthroat Kitchen, be the first one whacked. I'm a celebrity chef. You can see me. Nigga, you went home first. So what am I celebrating? You're a chef? A celebrity chef. I'm celebrating you. Why? Because at one point it was Wolfgang Puck. Wolfgang Puck was legit. Before Food Network, he was always, catering to the stars and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? These guys, he can actually say that, and he would never call them that. We would call them that.
Right.
If you're a real celebrity chef, I'm pretty sure right now, Guy Fieri, Bobby Flay, the woman that looked like a cat, Rachel Ray, or whatever. Let's talk about chefs. Guy Fieri, Bobby Flay, like legit chefs.
Uh-huh.
Even Wolfgang Puck, I guess. And there's somebody else. That you don't have to call them celebrities. They don't call themselves celebrity chefs. We did.
Yeah.
Because they lived that life. They breathe it. But it's the people that are hungry and thirsty that's reaching. They feel the need to put celebrity chef on their profile. I'm like, yo, what you want? You want you put that on there so you can like charge me more? Who are you? That's the thing. You said celebrity chef on your profile. Who are you? I just saw you pop them in the feed, and I can tell that you paid for your followers. You paid for following because you got 130-something thousand and 88,000 followers or whatever. Unfortunately, when you post your reels, those numbers ain't lining up.
Mm-hmm.
You posted a food video, chicken and dumplings, the whole world like chicken and dumplings, 288 views 6 days ago. Uh-oh. You forgot about that, didn't you? Yeah, I just think it's. Is anyone doing anything wrong by saying celebrity chef? No, but there's a lot of people that are reaching and they're so desperate to get on. But dude, if there's a lot of people in my church, there's a lot of people. If I drop a name, even if they're on Top Chef, I just drop a name. They're like, "Who's that?"
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know who you are. So I just think people should tell you that you're a dope chef. People should tell you that, like, people should nickname you something.
Yeah.
My name is Brent Weathers.
You don't give yourself a nickname.
I go by Brent. What's up?
Yeah, you don't give yourself a nickname.
Let people give you that. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's, but I just really like, the fact that people would one dude in high school, he was rapping and he's trying, whatever. He said, hey, Brent, hey, start calling me Popcorn. You dead serious? Stop calling me Popcorn. Like, don't call me Bobby Brown no more because his name was Robert Brown. Don't call me that no more. Call me Popcorn. And he was like, I was like, all right, cool. And because I've been calling him his name for like the last 4 years. We about to graduate high school. You talking about call me Popcorn from now on? All right. And so I did it twice. It didn't work out. Hey, Popcorn, huh? Already. Okay, then, fool. I mean, it was extra. Just kind of let people, because a lot of nicknames came from people calling them, from people they gave the nickname to the person. And then sometimes there's no harm in be like, hey, I'm the E double. I'm the microphone doctor. Like, I love Eric Sermon, Perry Smith, Keith Murray, Reggie Noble, but they have Eric Sermon for sure, and Perry Smith. They're like, no, this is my name. Keith Murray, this is my name. Right. If y'all want to call me, then later on, Keith Murray was like, yeah, call me the Chocolate Boy Wonder. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Green-Eyed Bandit, microphone doctor. I like that kind of stuff. But it's like, have your name, and maybe people should call you and give you the title they want to give you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just, I don't know. Don't be desperate.
I get it. Speaking of, let's talk about, because I think it's important for people to understand that, you've worked in some highfalutin restaurants, Michelin-rated places, and Knife and Spoon and Commander's Palace and things of that nature.
No, I never.
Yeah.
I never worked at Commander's Palace.
You never worked at Commander's Palace?
No. If anything, no. What happened was somebody left Commander's Palace. They wanted a souffle at a spot here in Dallas, and I told them that they said, hey, they don't want to. The guy doesn't want to go nowhere. He wants to stay here at the hotel. Brent, can you make him a souffle?
And you made him.
He just came from Commander's Palace, and he said that my souffle was better than theirs. That's what happened.
So check it out. I'm gonna show you the power of the internet. This is how crazy that goes. So right now, if you pull up as that's in your profile, bro. So it's that. Okay. So it's crazy. That leads to my point. My point is this: you have on many occasions spoken about how some chefs can get a big head and be full of themselves for a myriad of reasons. At the end of the day, we're not curing cancer. We're making food, right? And a lot of people's ego. I used to always say that you could tell that this cat was not cool in high school because he just peaked. Dude just peaked right now, and he's gonna use. He's getting all his cool points right now, and he's living his best life at 45. And so
Correct.
And so, speak to me about what it's like and what it is to be, first off, a great teammate and a great leader first. And I love all of your whys, bro. Those are some of the because I know and I'm in the know and I'm a kitchen guy. When we've all seen that. We've all seen the empty container, with a little bit of cheese in it, and it be the misspelling things drive me crazy too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And people just not doing their job, and the crazy thing to me is how, and I think some of these cats gotta follow you. They have to.
Do.
And yet, I'm starting to think they're doing it on purpose for content.
Because they're not. Nothing's staged.
No, I don't think it's staged. I just think they're like, okay,
no,
it's crazy.
No, so what? So I told someone this today, and it sounds weird. It's not their fault. We chose, not me, they wouldn't be there. Yeah. But the people that's above me, they hired them. Mm-hmm. And the way they got hired was just like, hey, because we had 3 strong people leave. They got replaced by 5 or 6 other people. And they just grabbed the first people one guy was like, hey, I got 5 people. All of them were hacks. One guy has a heart of gold and he wants to do better. One guy is addicted to this. Yeah. And then the other 3, they're just not worth a quarter, right? And they all getting paid more than I am. Dead serious. True story. Mm-hmm. I found out how much one was getting paid the other day. I was like, what? That guy? I was like, dude. And I was like, you know what? Making money. I don't want no one doing that to me. Yeah. But making money. So it wasn't their fault. We chose whatever happened to staging? Whatever happened to interviewing correctly? You got to interview well. Same thing when girls go out with these dudes. You know, when boys and girls get together, we go on dates. Dude, you were hanging out with her. Y'all were supposed to have a day with you two going bowling. She decides to wear the shortest skirt possible with her no slip. You can see her thong and stuff at bowling. She's doing a bunch of extra, bouncing around and wiggling her butt, whatever. Hey, are you doing this for me or for everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, interview well. Look at the red flags. You know what I'm saying? When a woman's with a dude and the dude's like looking at every single woman that walked by, that's supposed to be a red flag. Well, you know, that's what guys do, and I just want to give him a chance, and I love his eyes. He has great dimples. All right, great. But now you chose to keep on going out with a guy that kept on looking at your breasts the whole time. Well, they are lovely, aren't they? Look at my girls. Woo! Okay. You chose to date that guy. You chose to date that kind of a person. And now you're going to get those, you know, they date these trick daddy looking dudes and they end up getting trick daddy results. I shouldn't say trick daddy because anyway, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like interview well, like ask proper questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we didn't do that with these five dudes that showed up. No one asked nobody's question. Every now and then we get lucky that there's that one guy that says, you know, OCD and he still loves to cook because his mom, you know, makes the best empanadas and that's what he's known for. But he wants to learn more stuff. And hey, Brent, if you have something to teach me, please, I want to learn. And every time he messes up something, I can say, hey, man, you know, you got to do this. Don't do that. Reason why your meringue didn't meringue, because there's a little bit of egg yolk in there. You see that a little bit right there? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you know what? Yes, chef, I'll start over. Thank you. And that's what I'm looking for. Someone to say thank you, and I want to learn.
Right.
These other five? Oh.
Yeah. It's, well, staging, the whole entire thing. Like I'm pretty sure you're the same way. When I came up under the ranks, man, it was Beirut. Like the chefs could do. Wasn't no HR. Wasn't I've never seen the inside of an HR office, and chef could say anything and everything, and he would throw anything around him at you because it was his name on the marquee and not yours. And so at the end of the day, you're gonna do anything he wants you to do, or you're going to pay the consequences. And you couldn't do any of that. And staging is quote unquote illegal because working for free is not that's called slavery. But and so and so
things have changed.
But here's the thing. What a difference a day makes. But at the end of the day, there's in most states like here in Minnesota, it's an at-will state. So you can get just fired with no excuse. Like we don't have to give you a reason to let you go. Your output sucks, really what it is. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And not everybody's trying to make a lot of people feel good. And it's at the end of the day, either you're doing the job or you're not. All right, bro. Before I let you get out of here, we gotta play a little game that I like to play called the lightning round. It's closeout fun. It's going to be fast-paced, quick fire. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're gonna say the first thing that pops into your mind.
Oh, wait, crap!
All right.
All right.
Here comes the lightning round. All right. What's your go-to, no better, but chef meal? Like something you know that you shouldn't be eating anyway, but you still do. We all have it. What's your go-to?
French fries all day long.
French fries all day long. I love a good French fry. What's your favorite fry? Favorite commercial fry?
Crap. I like Brahms. I don't know if y'all have Brahms in Minnesota. The waffle cut. Or not waffle cut, but the Kringles.
Okay.
Whatever. And if done right, those hold me down. I'm a sucker for the waffle fry too. So yeah, I just love anything potatoes, really, man.
Okay.
Fried fries, yes.
Yeah, fried potatoes and salt. Potatoes and salt go. Yeah, it's delicious. Okay. What song best? No, that's not the question. What song best describes the soundtrack of your journey as a chef?
The lyrics are different, but I like Beat Nuts. I love it. I love that. I love the Beat Nuts. Bring it, man. And that's just me. I've never even thought that this is lightning round, so that's the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Beat nuts, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. What is your culinary Mount Rushmore? Who's on it? You got 4 chefs.
We got 4 of them. You can't front. I have to do for sure go Thomas Keller because he helped people rewrite their cookbooks. He helped people view things different. So Thomas Keller. Man, I don't want to be cliche, man. I have to go with Gordon Ramsay holds it down because in real life he's I like how on Hell's Kitchen he ain't flirting with all these girls.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets to business. He's very fair.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even when girls be flirting with him, he ain't checking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And in real life, he cooked for real like that.
Yeah.
And so the TV don't let his business sense. I would say Gordon Ramsay, Thomas Keller. Crap. I like the way Wiley Dufresne holds it down. I like the way he
okay, that's 3.
He's a nice, good guy in real life, and he the vision that he had in his head and the idea, he was like, you know what? Yeah, you guys, I'm done making salads.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to do that for first course? Not me. We're not having lettuce in here. I love that. So
okay, one
Wiley
more.
Dufresne helped me out quite a bit.
What's your last
Let
one?
me look at my man, there's a whole bunch of chefs too. There's some honorary mentions too. Man, right now, Matt Horn. Ain't lying.
Matt Horn? Okay.
Matt Horn, because what he's been doing, he's had this juice in his soul and his mind all these years. He just started doing this like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the things that he's accomplished in a small amount of time.
Yeah. Especially after the fire that took him out for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, but he still had he's still promoting his faith. When he writes, when he does, he makes posts. There's some intent behind it. Mm-hmm. I got some stories I can tell you off camera, but like I like the way that Matt Horn moves, like his business sense, the way that he has a certain power, certain way he talks, and he's very friendly and he knows how to. And the thing that he's done in a small amount of time, he's like legit. For me right now, that's making me move. I'd have to say those.
Okay, I like that.
Those 4.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, what's your go-to kitchen gadget that you cannot live without?
Crap, man, that Vitamix, I guess. If we didn't have that to blend stuff, man, what would we do?
You've watched. Can you blend? Does it blend? You watched that, right? They put everything in the Vitamix. Everything, nothing safe, including that Android phone. You throw that in there. That's powder. Powder.
That's funny. That sounds familiar, but I think I've seen something like that at one point.
Yeah, they was putting everything in it. All right, and lastly, what is your number 1 pet peeve as a leader in the kitchen? And so this is from Subordinates.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. A list of excuses, maybe. When if I say, hey man, make sure you need to make sure this is over reduced. Here we go. Hey man, this is over reduced. And then this guy was like, well, the reason why it's over reduced because I'm setting up this other guy's station, and it's not even my station, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and it's not even my job. I'm just helping him out. And hey, man, you over reduced it. That's it.
Yeah,
and I'm here to because you got here saying, hey, Brent, I want to learn with the best, and whatever you have to teach me, please share it with me, because I'll ask anybody quick. Hey, man, do you want to Is this you? You want to do this for living? Oh, man, that's all I want to do is cook. I love cooking. All right, cool. And I'm trying to give you some tips on how to cook better. Hey, man, I've been doing this since y'all was in T-ball. I was doing this when some of y'all was like in, second grade gymnastics, like on the line, yelling out, calling out tickets. And anyone that's older than you, feel free to stop and just listen. Mm-hmm. Because I got years on you. And even if we get 15 to my 26, or it could be, it doesn't matter. It could be 25 to 26. The fact that I still get an extra year on you. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm trying to give you a point of view, let's be open to listen.
Yeah.
And if you want to disagree, that's one thing, but making excuses about why you, we didn't have any tasting spoons. That's why I kept on double dipping. Dude, take that paper towel and just do this. Don't just use your fingers. Yeah. Anyway, that's my excuses and saying that you want to learn and be the best, and then I spit game to you, you ain't checking for it. Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Okay, got you. Mine is CFS.
What's that?
Can't find shit. No,
Okay.
I don't. I say it's in there.
Yeah.
Look, I can pretty much tell you where it's at from my house. I have a visual burned in my memory where things are.
Yes.
I can tell. I know it's in there. Oh, it ain't there, chef. I can't see. I don't find it. It's not in there, chef. If I get up and go in there and get it, we got a problem. It was CFS. Everybody got it.
Dude, that same guy. I made mushroom stock one day, and the thing is with him is if it's not on this certain rack or if it's not in a certain area, he just assumes that we don't have it. And so he said, "Hey man," because he tried to wrap me out saying, "Brent, it was on the board." I said, Brent Monte, it was on the board, but he didn't make it. Y'all need to get on y'all need to get on to him. And some guy texted me that. I ran right up to the job. I went straight. I didn't say hello to nobody. I went straight to it, and I got the whole 22 quarts of it. And then he said, "Where was it at?" I said, "It was in the walk-in." I told you guys, like, look around.
Yeah, it ain't gonna jump out and do a backflip.
Such and such. What do you mean 86? Are y'all too manly? Y'all grown men talking about, like, what fights you were in and how many girls you done slept with. Y'all afraid of that cooler, that freezer? Yeah, man, my neighbor, I almost had to knock him out because he was making so much. Okay, cool, but you can't knock out the freezer? The freezer's right here. You didn't have to go in. All you have to do is open up the door and just do this. Yeah. And see it. Okay, here it is. There's grown men I've worked with that are afraid of the freezer. I'll stop right there. It drives me insane. I said, "Did you check the freezer?" And I was condescending one time on the board. I was like, I forgot. I think I wrote like a note like, "Hi, I'm the morning." What I say? I was like, "Man, it's so cold in the freezer." Brr, I put a B, a bunch of R's, and I'm afraid to go in there. It's probably in there, but because on the prep list, what they would do is they would say on the prep board, they would say, "Hey, pull such and such out the freezer." Nigga, pull it out yourself. Yeah. Like and I'm petty too, because if they don't pull something, if I leave at 3:00 and before they get there, I pull it right before they get there. I was like, y'all,
it's pulled.
No, y'all want to be really weird and petty. I love it. Let's do that. Yeah. And that's not mature of me, but at the same time, I have to make it fun because I can't have these guys have my heart rate messed up. Because a few times I walked into work a few times where I had problems breathing because I'm overwhelmed with so much stupidity. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it would hit me all at the same time. And so that's how those wife videos came about. Yeah. That's how those wife things, like, all this stuff right here. Yeah. This right here. Yeah. Yeah. I put that on stuff. Yeah. I was like, dude, yeah, I can't do it.
That's hilarious.
I had to make it fun.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And I share it with the world. People think they're like, "Hey, Brent, you should be more of a leader and fix it." Like, I don't know the half of it. I don't know the prequel. I was always doing it, fixing it for years. Anyway, stop. Yeah. I can't. I'm getting mad now.
All right, bro. Man, listen, it's been a blast having you on, man. I definitely, this has been so dope, man. So tell everybody really quick how they can follow you and be attached to whatever you got going on. Give me your socials and everything.
I was gonna do a Shannon Sharp impersonation, but it's not there. I was gonna do the whole for drinks and conversation, but no. Brent Eats Food is my Instagram, and if they type in Brent Weathers, my YouTube and other stuff will pop up. But if they want to reach out to me and see what I'm about, what I post on a regular basis, it's Instagram, Brent Eats Food, because my regular name was taken. So, Brent Eats Food, and you'll see me pop up on the chessboard and with a Dr. Spock shirt on. So that's how you can find me.
Absolutely. All right. Again, thank you for having you. Thank you for letting this happen in the manner it's happened. I appreciate you always, man. I'm gonna be looking again. You need to put some kind of warnings on the videos, though. I can't be out there with the volume on and being somewhere where it's quiet and not trying to laugh. Like I on a couple of occasions, I just laughing out loud uncontrollably because the shit's so funny to me.
I didn't expect to do that. When I did the fancy chef impersonation.
Oh my God! Listen, that had me weak. Because he's funny as hell. I mean, but I think he's serious though.
It was supposed to be a voiceover. Yeah. And I just started doing things
nice
out of nowhere. It was like 4:00 in the morning too. I was supposed to be asleep. And I was like, how am I supposed to? I just let it go, and I did the whole.
That's crazy.
Beautiful night by the chef.
All right, well,
yeah. So yeah.
Again, this has been the Taste Music Hear Food podcast. Until next time, peace.
You know we doing.
I think I was
You know
drinking
it takes a special track to do this. I'm on my P's and Q's, dripping sauce. It's just the fluid, it's the chef. I'm here to remind y'all I'm sick with it. My name is stuff that's hot. It's ubiquitous.
MBC. No relation to NBC.